But at the same time, I'm watching my daughter being watched by the entire world. Everybody was watching my daughter. She'll disagree, of course, and she might even sue me. I don't care. But the bottom line is, it seems to me she's working hard. I'm 75 years old, so it's time to look after Daddy.
Thomas Markle just made a statement that could change everything we thought we knew about Meghan Markle. Buried in the pages of a 1997 magazine sits a detail so intriguing. It sparked countless discussions about her timeline. When a father publicly questions his daughter's story and says he's willing to share his perspective, you know there's more to uncover. And the most fascinating part? This detail has been sitting in plain sight for over 25 years. If these claims hold weight, it could reshape how we view Meghan's entire journey.
A scandal nobody saw coming. What if the headlines you've been scrolling through missed the juiciest, most explosive?
From her Hollywood days to her royal chapter. But before we explore the topic that's captivating the internet, make sure you're subscribed and hit that notification bell, because what we're about to discuss will have you looking at the royal story from a completely different angle. You definitely won't want to miss this deep dive into one of the most talked about mysteries surrounding the Duchess. Page 90 of 17 magazine, March 1997. That's where this fascinating story begins, and it's the kind of discovery that makes you wonder what other interesting details.
The heart-wrenching plea that captivated the world. Imagine a man holding a faded photo of his little girl.
Might be sitting in old archives. Some curious online researchers were browsing through vintage magazine collections when they came across something that caught their attention. There it was, just one line mentioning Meghan Markle as 21 years old. At first glance, you'd probably flip right past it. Just another reference in a teen magazine from the 90s, tucked between fashion spreads and celebrity features that seemed completely ordinary at the time. But here's where things get intriguing and why this small detail has generated so much online discussion.
Thomas, I want you to react to a couple of comments from Prince Harry over the past 24 hours as well. He's claimed that...
According to official records, Meghan was born in August 1981, which would make her around 15 or 16 in March 1997, not 21. That's roughly a 6-year difference that has people curious and discussing the discrepancy. 6 years represents a significant gap that would affect someone's life experiences, opportunities, and personal timeline in meaningful ways. This isn't a random social media post or unclear source we're examining.
What if everything we thought we knew about Meghan Markle was wrong? What if behind the fairy tale wedding, the dazzling global...
This is printed material from a well-known publication that had national distribution, preserved in archives that researchers can access and verify. Magazine publishers typically have editorial processes, fact-checkers, and multiple staff members who review content before publication. So it has people wondering about how such a notable age difference might appear in print. When it comes to public figures, especially those connected to institutions like the royal family, dates and official records...
She just woke up one day in a new world and decided that she doesn't have any family.
I believe she had a clear...
tend to be carefully maintained and cross-referenced. The monarchy operates with particular attention to documentation and timelines. Birth certificates, official announcements, and public records are expected to align consistently. So when details don't match up perfectly with established information, it naturally sparks curiosity and discussion. What makes this discovery particularly captivating is how this detail remained relatively unnoticed for so many years.
The longer she stays quiet, one columnist wrote, the more it looks like there's something to hide. That perception created a feedback loop. Silence
quietly existing in magazine archives and library collections until researchers finally spotted it and began discussing what it might mean for the larger story. When Thomas Markle speaks publicly about his daughter, people tend to pay attention. Since 2018, Meghan's father has been sharing his perspective through various media interviews and public statements. What started as a father wanting to tell his side of the story has become a regular feature in royal news coverage.
Ladies and gentlemen, grab your popcorn, because now we'll uncover the details of
Thomas has been quite open about his feelings regarding his relationship with Meghan and how things have unfolded over the years. Throughout multiple interviews, Thomas has shared his viewpoint on various aspects of Meghan's public story. He's spoken about his experiences as her father and has offered his own recollections of family history and important dates. His comments come from someone who was present during Meghan's childhood and early adult years, giving him a unique perspective on her background and personal timeline.
Whether ambition is a betrayal or whether it is survival, Thomas's story is messy. It is uncomfortable.
One of the more significant aspects of Thomas's public statements has been his expressed willingness to share his perspective in formal settings if needed. During interviews, he's mentioned being prepared to discuss what he remembers about family history and important details. When someone indicates they're ready to speak formally about their recollections, it demonstrates confidence in their memory of events. What makes Thomas's interviews particularly noteworthy is that he often references specific details about family milestones.
The hideous and heartless betrayal of Thomas Markle continues apace, with a vomiting
Dates and personal history. Rather than making general comments, he tends to focus on particular moments and timelines that he recalls differently than what's been publicly reported. His recollections of family events and important dates have added another layer to ongoing discussions about Meghan's background. The father-daughter relationship has clearly changed dramatically since the royal wedding period, and Thomas's media appearances have become more frequent over time. He's transitioned from initially seeking to,
well, hello. I'm sorry. I didn't watch the
mend their relationship to regularly sharing his perspective on family matters and personal history. For a parent to maintain such a public presence regarding their child's story is certainly unusual and has helped keep these discussions active in royal news coverage. One of the more interesting aspects of this discussion involves routine updates made to official royal paperwork. Several weeks after Archie Harrison Mountbatten Windsor's birth certificate was initially processed,
in what can only be described as a bombshell interview, Thomas Markle.
The document received some standard revisions. The paperwork was updated through normal administrative channels, and the modifications followed established royal protocols. Originally, the certificate listed Rachel Meghan Markle as the mother's name, but the revised version used the formal title Her Royal Highness the Duchess of Sussex. This type of administrative update, while not common, does occur within royal documentation processes.
In a shocking twist of events, the former Duchess of Sussex, Meghan Markle, has found herself at the center of yet another controversy.
Birth certificates and other official records occasionally receive corrections or formatting updates to ensure they align with institutional standards. The palace noted this change was made to maintain consistency with established royal naming conventions in official documents. Royal documentation follows specific protocols and formatting requirements that have developed over many years. When records are initially filed, they sometimes require subsequent adjustments to meet the precise standards.
We read these reports that he wasn't offered any help from the royal family or the palace. Can we believe, should we
expected for royal paperwork? These administrative updates help ensure that all official documents follow the same formatting guidelines and naming conventions. The timing of documentation updates like this reflects the processes involved in royal paperwork review. Rather than rushing to correct documents immediately, the palace typically takes time to review formatting and ensure everything meets their established standards. This methodical approach helps maintain the consistency that's expected in royal record keeping.
Thomas Markle just dropped a bombshell, leaking what he claims are Meghan Markle's private medical records, allegedly proving she...
For an institution with centuries of documented history, maintaining consistent standards across all official paperwork is considered important. The monarchy has developed detailed protocols for how documents should be formatted, what titles should be used, and how information should be presented. These standards help ensure that historical records remain consistent over time. Administrative updates to royal documents are part of the normal process of maintaining accurate and properly formatted official records. While such changes may seem notable to outside observers,
in a jaw-dropping moment in a shocking turn of events, Thomas Markle, the arranged father of Meghan Markle, has allegedly...
They represent the careful attention to detail that the institution applies to its documentation, and standard procedures are followed for record-keeping practices. Meghan's time at Northwestern University represents an important chapter in her educational journey. According to official records, she graduated in 2003 with degrees in theater and international studies, which would place her at around 22 years old at the time of graduation, based on the 1981 birth year. This timeline follows a traditional college path, entering university at 18 and completing her studies.
It's time to look after Daddy. I'd talk and do something and wait 30 days to get a response from Meghan and Harry.
In the standard 4-year time frame. Her Northwestern experience has become part of broader discussions about her background, particularly when examining various photos and memories from her university days. Some alumni photos from her time there show Meghan participating in campus activities and organizations alongside her fellow students. These group photos capture moments from her college years and provide glimpses into her university experience. What's generated some conversation among those interested in her background
clarity of a press corps that is used to this sort of horrible control mechanism. Thomas Markle has been discovered.
Is the observation that in certain group photos, some of her university contemporaries appear to represent different age groups. This isn't particularly unusual in university settings, as campuses often bring together students from various backgrounds and life stages. Many people pursue higher education at different points in their lives, whether as traditional students, returning adults, or those changing career paths. Northwestern, like many major universities, has always welcomed students of diverse ages and backgrounds.
In a shocking turn of events, Thomas Markle, Meghan's own father, has stepped forward with claims that could tear the
graduate programs, continuing education opportunities, and professional development courses create environments where people from different generations study together. This diversity in student populations is generally considered one of the strengths of university communities. The university maintains comprehensive records of enrollment and graduation for all students, which provides clear documentation of academic timelines. These institutional records serve as reliable reference points for understanding someone's educational journey and the chronological progression of their academic achievements.
This revelation has been described as a devastating betrayal, and it has the potential to turn everything we thought we knew about the Dutch.
Meghan's Northwestern years were formative in preparing her for her subsequent career in entertainment. Her studies in theater and international relations provided a foundation that would later influence both her acting career and her interests in global humanitarian work. This educational background became an important part of her professional development and personal growth. Understanding Meghan's career development requires looking at the broader context of how the entertainment industry functions, particularly regarding career progression and opportunity timing.
Every day there was another humiliating photo in the papers. Thomas Markle buying a new loo. Thomas Markle buying a six-pack.
Hollywood operates within specific frameworks when it comes to casting and role development, and these industry standards affect how all performers navigate their professional journeys. In the entertainment world, career timing plays an important role in the types of opportunities that become available to actors. Industry professionals regularly discuss how different career stages provide access to various character types and project opportunities. Performers typically find that their career phase influences the range of roles they're considered for.
It all started with an email, an anonymous message that seemed like just another hoax. But when a British tabloid editor...
From early career opportunities to more established character work. This industry structure creates important considerations for performers developing their careers. The timing of when someone enters the professional entertainment world can influence their trajectory, the types of projects they access, and how they build their professional reputation. Many industry professionals acknowledge that career timing affects how actors approach their professional development and opportunity planning. Meghan's career journey took her through various phases of the entertainment industry.
You shocked me, and now she admits it to me.
I was like, I don't know why, but I don't believe him. Lost my dad in that.
From initial auditions and supporting roles to her prominent position on the legal drama Suits. During this professional development, she would have been working within the same industry frameworks that shape all performers' experiences, understanding role availability and positioning herself effectively for career advancement. The entertainment industry's approach to career development also influences how actors are represented and promoted professionally. Casting professionals, representation teams, and production companies often work within established parameters.
Meghan Markle's half-brother, Thomas Markle Jr., I didn't even know she had a half-brother, is writing a tell-all book about our Duchess behind her back.
When developing projects, which means how an actor is positioned professionally can influence their consideration for various opportunities. For performers across the industry, professional timing has historically been an important factor in career development. Different types of projects, from leading roles to ensemble work, to specialized productions, often align with specific career phases, making an actor's professional positioning an important element in accessing opportunities and building sustainable careers. Understanding these industry dynamics provides valuable context.
Thomas reflects on the media's portrayal of Meghan as both victim and villain. He acknowledges that the truth is probably
for examining any performer's career development and the strategic decisions they make while building their professional standing in entertainment. The 2018 royal wedding between Meghan and Prince Harry became one of the most celebrated events of that year, with comprehensive media coverage that captured global attention. The ceremony and surrounding festivities were covered extensively by news organizations worldwide, creating a shared cultural moment that brought together audiences from many different countries and backgrounds. Throughout the wedding coverage, media outlets provided detailed background information about both Meghan and Harry.
What if everything the world believed about Meghan Markle was built on a lie? What if the former Duchess of Sussex,
helping audiences understand their individual stories and how they came together. The coverage presented Meghan as an accomplished professional who was bringing her own unique experiences and perspective to royal life. This biographical context became an important part of how the wedding story was shared with the public. Media organizations invested significant resources in covering this royal milestone, with teams of reporters, photographers, and broadcasters working to provide comprehensive coverage of the event. News outlets developed detailed profiles and background stories to help their audiences understand the significance.
Did you ever see anything in Meghan as she was growing up, before the rift, before she met Harry?
Of this addition to the royal family. The wedding coverage followed established traditions for major royal events, where media outlets work closely with palace communications teams to ensure accurate and respectful reporting. This collaborative approach helps maintain consistency across different news organizations and ensures that the public receives reliable information about important royal occasions. The biographical information shared during the wedding period became part of the ongoing narrative about Meghan's integration into royal life.
Meghan Markle has cut off every single family member, but she's the victim. Her father Thomas, her sister Samantha.
These initial stories provided the foundation for how her role and background would be discussed in future royal coverage and public communications. The 2018 wedding represented an important chapter in contemporary royal history, combining traditional ceremonial elements with modern touches that reflected both Harry and Meghan's personalities. The coverage of this this event helped establish the public narrative that would continue to shape discussions about their roles within the royal family. This comprehensive approach to royal wedding coverage.
It's amazing what people will do when offered a huge amount of money. To hand over photographs, to create a story.
Helps create lasting documentation of significant moments in the monarchy's history and provides the public with the context needed to understand these important cultural and historical events. The digital age has transformed how people engage with royal news and celebrity stories, creating new platforms for discussion and analysis that didn't exist in previous generations. Social media platforms, online forums, and digital communities have become spaces where people can share observations, discuss details, and connect with others who share similar interests in royal affairs.
The latest update on Meghan Markle's father quickly became one of the most talked about topics on social media yesterday. Thomas Markle, who has suffered...
What's particularly notable is how these digital communities have developed their own research approaches and collaborative discussion techniques. When it comes to Meghan's story, various online communities have developed dedicated spaces for examining different aspects of her background and royal journey. These digital discussions often involve people sharing archive materials, old photographs, historical documents, and magazine clippings that they've discovered through their own research efforts. The collaborative nature of online discussion has allowed groups of interested individuals.
Dad's deathbed plea to the daughter he lost.
How can I fix this?
To share their findings and observations, creating comprehensive collections of information that might otherwise remain scattered across different sources. Reddit communities in particular have become known for their detailed analytical discussions about public figures and current events. Users often create comprehensive posts that compile various pieces of information, creating detailed timelines, cross-reference materials, and reference documents that other community members can review and discuss.
Meghan Markle spoke out about her family this morning, and it was juicy. Meghan went into the relationship with her father, and when her father...
These collaborative efforts demonstrate how digital platforms can facilitate in-depth discussion and information sharing, with multiple people contributing different pieces of information to create more complete reference materials. The viral nature of social media has also significantly amplified certain discussions about royal topics. When particular posts, discoveries, or discussions gain traction on one platform, they can quickly spread across multiple networks, from Twitter to Instagram to Facebook, reaching audiences far beyond the original communities where they started.
Meghan Markle's father, Thomas Markle, has made a bold claim about his grandchildren Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet.
This digital amplification effect has made certain royal discussions much more visible to the general public, bringing specialized community conversations into mainstream awareness. Video platforms like TikTok and YouTube have also contributed substantially to these discussions, with content creators developing videos that explore various aspects of royal history, current events, and background information. These platforms allow for creative presentation of information through visual storytelling, timeline compilations, and comparative analysis that can make complex information more accessible.
Meghan Markle's father and half-brother have quietly moved to Cebu for a fresh start. Photos circulating online show...
They've also introduced royal topics to younger audiences who might not typically follow traditional royal news coverage through conventional media outlets. The creative content culture that has developed around royal topics shows how digital communities process and respond to news and information in engaging and often entertaining ways. These cultural responses often reflect broader public interest and can influence how stories are perceived, discussed, and remembered in wider cultural contexts. Creative content can distill complex topics into easily shareable material that reaches large audiences.
The time, so when my father talked to me about,
the girls on the trips to Thailand. It was just
quickly. What's particularly interesting about these online discussions is how they've created new forms of community-based research and independent information gathering. People with access to libraries, archives, and historical databases can contribute findings that might not be covered by traditional media outlets. This democratization of information sharing has created a more participatory approach to understanding public figures and their stories. This digital discussion phenomenon represents a significant shift in how public figures.
Meghan lived with me from the 6th grade to high school.
And their stories are analyzed, discussed, and understood in the modern era, creating new forms of public engagement with royal affairs that extend far beyond traditional media coverage and official palace communications. One of the most notable aspects of this ongoing discussion has been the communication strategy employed by those directly involved, particularly the decision to focus on current activities rather than address various historical details that have emerged online. This approach represents an interesting example of how public figures navigate complex media landscapes.
They went way over the top with these stories with Oprah and should have waited.
In the digital age, where information circulates rapidly and public interest can extend over long periods, and Meghan's communications team has consistently chosen to concentrate on current projects, charitable work, and official activities rather than engaging with discussions about historical timeline details. This approach aligns with established public relations practices where maintaining focus on current initiatives often proves more effective than addressing every point of public curiosity. Many communications professionals recommend this type of forward-focused strategy.
After school, I would see my dad, who was a lighting director. Sometimes I'd go on the set of this.
When managing ongoing public attention. The decision to maintain this consistent approach over several years suggests a well-considered communication strategy, developed in consultation with experienced media professionals. Public figures typically work with communications teams who help determine the most effective ways to manage public attention while maintaining focus on their primary objectives and responsibilities. From a communications perspective, engaging with every online discussion or historical detail can sometimes create additional conversation cycles.
I got an English award.
I know.
Potentially drawing attention away from current projects and initiatives. Many PR professionals advise their clients to maintain focus on their active work and future goals, rather than continually revisiting historical details or responding to every point of public curiosity. The palace's communication approach has similarly maintained focus on current events, official announcements, and ongoing royal duties rather than addressing every point of public curiosity about historical details. This institutional strategy,
father of Meghan Markle, Duchess of Sussex, has chosen to make his heartfelt plea to his daughter, a deathbed
reflects the monarchy's long-established preference for emphasizing official responsibilities and current activities in their public communications. What's particularly noteworthy about this communication strategy is how it represents a more traditional approach to public relations in an era where immediate social media responses have become common. While many public figures now engage directly with online discussions through personal social media accounts, the royal communication style has maintained established protocols that emphasize official channels and carefully planned messaging.
Fewer than 50 accounts. Perhaps the most troubling part of this is the number of British journalists interact.
This sustained communication approach demonstrates how different strategies can be effectively employed when managing persistent public interest in personal details and background information in today's complex media environment. What began as a single reference in a 1997 magazine has developed into one of the most enduring discussions in contemporary royal media coverage. The detail found on page 90 of 17 magazine may appear minor, but it represents something significant about how biographical information is examined and discussed in our digital era.
As proof. And what he reveals is not just about a daughter and a father at odds. It's about an ambition that, he claimed,
where details can be preserved, shared, and analyzed across decades. Thomas Markle's decision to share his recollections publicly has contributed another perspective to these ongoing conversations. His statements, along with various timeline discussions and document observations, have created a complex narrative that continues to engage public interest years after it first emerged. These elements have become woven into the broader story of Meghan's public journey, regardless of how one interprets their significance. The digital community's engagement with these details demonstrates how contemporary audiences,
everyone who grew up around me knows, and I wished I had siblings,
interact with public figures in ways that differ substantially from previous generations. Online researchers, social media discussions, and digital content creation have transformed individual observations into widespread cultural conversations. This phenomenon extends beyond royal coverage. It illustrates how information circulates and develops in our interconnected media landscape. This entire discussion also highlights the unique challenges that public figures navigate when maintaining biographical consistency.
Polished biographies might not be entirely trustworthy, and that perception posed a bigger danger than any single rumor, because if
across extended periods of public attention. In an era where information can be archived, cross-referenced, and examined by engaged online communities, maintaining perfectly aligned narratives becomes increasingly complex. This reality affects many individuals in the public sphere, not just members of royal families. The communication approaches observed throughout this situation provide valuable insights into contemporary public relations strategies. The decision to emphasize current activities rather than address historical details.
Speculation started circulating online, starting quietly, but becoming more widespread over time.
Represents one effective method of managing sustained public interest in our digital age. As these conversations continue to develop, they offer a compelling example of how modern media, digital communities, and established institutions interact in today's information environment. Whether additional details will surface or these discussions will naturally evolve remains an open question. What's clear is that this situation has already influenced how we consider public narratives and the enduring significance of historical details.
From the documentary and just give my reaction on them because it's too good. I may end up running out of time
in our digital world. Thank you for joining us for this comprehensive exploration of one of the most engaging ongoing topics in royal media coverage. If you enjoyed this detailed analysis, please subscribe for more thoughtful examinations of the stories that capture public attention. Don't forget to enable notifications so you won't miss our upcoming deep dives into the fascinating intersection of traditional institutions and contemporary media. Until our next discussion, stay curious and keep exploring the stories that shape our cultural conversations.